A very warm welcome to the very first Brum Blues previews and reviews. We're broadcasting, that sounds a bit grand, from the Jewellery Quarter, and I'll apologise in advance for any seagull noises. We do have a bit of a seagull problem here, even though we're as far from the sea as you can possibly get in England. I'll run through who's playing where and what's on over the next few days, and then we'll go back and see what's in the archives in terms of some video, dig out some nuggets, try and find some interesting things to think about, and maybe we'll invite some guests in one day. But I'm on my own at the moment, so we'll just go with it. So it's Friday the 3rd of June, it's the second day of the royal festivities, so I hope you're all enjoying yourselves, having street parties and doing whatever anybody does. But tonight, Ziggy Paul is playing the Victoria Cats in Walsall from about 8 o'clock. I haven't seen his band play, but I have seen him play with Melvin Hancock's one Sunday lunchtime or Sunday afternoon at the Brass House, which was quite something. All along the Watchtower, I think it was. He borrowed Melvin's guitar, which was very nice of Melvin. Also on the Friday, if you're in Rowley Regis, the Springfield Social Club is hosting Fred Zeppelin, which I've heard are pretty good. Saturday, there's the choice really between the Hare and Hounds Blues Club at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I don't know who's playing. I never know who's playing, and I can't find out. So if anybody knows, just let me know. Then I can include it to the gig guide, which is supposed to make life easier for people. The Trumpet in Bilston is hosting the Martian Social Club. Not exactly a blues band, more of a cross between a Bonzo Dog Doodah band and a jazz band, but that may be unfair. But they look like fun. They're on at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, Saturday, in Bilston. We're here, the trams are going to be up and running from Sunday. So we'll be able to get to Bilston, which is always a bit of a problem at the moment. Though I hear the trams are only going from Bull Street to Wolverhampton, so we'll have to walk into town, or walk from New Street Station. The Wheat Chief is hosting Moose Jaw, who plays Stadium Rock. So that sounds like a bit of a noisy one, but again, a lot of fun. Sunday's always a big day in the blues calendar. Brass House on Broad Street is the place to go, 3 o'clock, Steve RJ's Blues Giants, and then there's the inevitable big choice about where to go afterwards. C-Jam are playing at the Rosevilla Tavern from 6:30, and Highway 61 are playing the Gunmakers, I think a little bit later at 7:30. So you can run between the two, but I wouldn't advise it after a few. I really don't think so. Both bands are definitely worth seeing. Monday, Jeff Beck is playing at the Birmingham Symphony Hall, one of the big names, and obviously worth a look. Tuesdays, of course, is Blues Days, so it's off to Henry's Blues House at the Velvet Music Rooms in Broad Street, number 200. Maz Bintrenko Band with Pete Vickers on bass, who you would have seen on Sunday, the fabulous Phil Brittle on drums, and of course Maz Bintrenko on guitar and vocals. Always a good time to see them. Well worth seeing. Don't miss it. Okay, that's the end of the roundup. I've probably missed a couple of things, but let me know if there's any gaps, if there's any venues listening as well. Send me your information. Okay, I was lucky to see Kimmy and The Whahoos a couple of weeks ago. Their very last gig. They were together for 6 years. I hadn't seen them before. A really fun day out, Sunday afternoon. A lot of musicians turned up, obviously a great following. Got a bit of a clip, so have a look at this. Thanks. She's a witch, a traveling electric glue, in her own mind, she's in love with you. Now what you gonna do? Strange better keep losing them. So this is from 1976, this was the very first one. I picked this up in Henley and Arden at the vintage place there. Sounds as fresh as ever, I have to say, pretty good. Stood the test of time, I think the phrase is. Goes nicely with the live one I got. Funny enough, I bumped into Bob Wilson, who plays guitar on this and the subsequent albums, and he was saying that he never thought that they were captured as well on the studio album as they were playing live. But the curious thing is that they were really popular in Sweden and they sold really well there, even though the band had never played. And of course this was pre-YouTube and all that sort of stuff. So that sort of remains a bit of a curiosity. So Bob Wilson plays around in and around Birmingham quite a lot. He's playing with Steve Jam this coming weekend. I saw him also with Kate G Band in the Rock and Roll Brew House, which was fun. That was a fun afternoon, I can tell you. A 5-piece band squashed into the corner of what's really a tap house. Excellent beer, by the way. So I thought we'd dig into the vaults. We've got a few clips of Bob playing with different bands over the last couple of years. Quality varies a bit depending on where it was taken and what camera was used, but have a look at this. I think it's quite interesting. I'm reading Andrew Lou Oldham's autobiography, Stoned. For those of you who don't know who he is, he was the manager of the Rolling Stones. But interesting nuggets, sort of interesting, was that both the Beatles and the Rolling Stones made their TV debuts in Birmingham. So both back in 1963, at what were the film studios, TV studios at Aston. So Beatles appeared January 1963, 13th of January 1963, and the Rolling Stones were on Thank Your Lucky Stars on July the 7th, 1963. That must have been quite a shock for them to have to drive up from London, the Rolling Stones that is, to the heart of Birmingham, because in those days, Birmingham was quite a long way, and everything took a long time. Anyway, some really interesting stories in here, some great nuggets. Not sure why it's never been made a film. Or has it been? If you know it's a film, just let me know. Anyway, Beatles and Rolling Stones, first time on television in Birmingham. What isn't known very much is that a lot of the bands that play around Birmingham, the Black Country, write their own music and do it very well, even though there's often a pressure to play the old classics and the favourites. They do like to slip in their own tunes here and there. I think they should do more of it. I know some play one half of their own tunes and then the other half is the favourites. But listen to this. This is a very, very nice song. And it's by Big Q Fish. They're performing it at the Jam House a short while ago.
This is one of the originals I was talking about. This is one of mine. It's called The Commercial Blues. Thank you.
So that was Big Q Fish, playing a song written by Mike Hatton, who's the bass player, who you would have seen around in many guises. Plays 6-string bass, 4-string bass, has actually got albums of bass playing, which I have to say are really very nice and very interesting. So check out Mike Hatton and what he's up to. He also plays with the Blues Giants, Steve RJ's band, who are playing Sunday. So go and see them at the Brass House. It'll be fun. Thank you very much, and we'll come back at some point in the future.